Lee, aka True Chaser. This is the fourth annual March Against Monsanto. When will you care what's in your food? When will you care what you eat? And when will you care what your family eats? Because we've been out here doing this now 4 consecutive times. Instead of sitting in your house, on your Xbox 360, on your fucking computer, it's time to get out here and make a difference. Monsanto, you're poisoning not only our food, but humanity's food, and we're sick of it. March Against Monsanto 2015. 2015, the 4th annual March Against Monsanto. The mainstream fucking media isn't out here, but we're out here, sweetheart.
That's all that matters.
How do you feel today? Fuck Monsanto.
Fuck Monsanto. I'm really impressed by the people that are out here. I love the March with Us. This is the first one we've been to. We're from Stockton University.
Sure.
So we're all sustainability. We're really into just people and food in general. Tell us what we're fucking eating. Tell us. That's right.
Put it in our fucking label, okay? Okay. Don't, we're not science fucking experiments. We're human beings.
That's right.
We're low vibrational beings, and as one, we're gonna kick Monsanto's fucking ass. Everybody, on the count of 3, as loud as you can, fuck Monsanto. 1, 2, 3, fuck Monsanto! So, we're here against GMOs today. It's the March Against Monsanto. I'm looking at your sign. It says, Children of the Corn. It's an amazing sign. How do you feel about GMOs?
I don't think that they're like, people aren't informed about what they're putting in their bodies. So I don't think it's fair that people don't know
Sure.
to make their own decisions.
I mean, obviously people should make their own decision. Not science shouldn't be able to say, hey, look, we're going to put GMOs in the corn, in the crops, and in your body. And you're out here today basically saying, hell no, GMO.
Exactly.
How do you feel about GMO?
I think that it was a good idea in theory, but I think that the environmental impact of GMOs is just too detrimental for them to be a good thing in America.
Sure. So, I mean, do you think that GMO is going to stop, or is it going to continue to go on?
I think that they are going to continue unless we as a group are able to create a grassroots movement.
So in the collective consciousness as one, we have to literally get out here and make a fucking difference.
Yeah,
I mean, that's how it
exactly.
fucking feels. Thank you so much. Here today, it's the 4th March Against Monsanto. Sweetheart, why are you out here and how do you feel about GMOs?
So I'm out here because Monsanto as a company really abuses a lot of farmers, and I don't really approve of the way that they bully farmers and use corporate power and money to exploit a lot of farmers. I don't like how they don't allow any kind of research about their products, and patenting an organism seems pretty odd to me, and I think that they really need to be more transparent in order to have anyone really approve of something that they're pushing on our entire nation. So
Right.
yeah.
I mean, when we look at the fact that this is obviously the 4th event, hopefully things change. Do you think things are going to change?
I think if we continue to get support and consumers use their buying power to say to companies that I want organic and I want non-GMO products, I think that there can definitely be a change. I think first you need to get a lot of education though. A lot of people don't know and are unknowingly eating GMOs, but I think if they really knew what was in their food, they might change their opinion and change their buying power. So yeah, that's
Right. I mean, are you ready to march today?
I am ready to march.
I may hit you up when we're in the march. I'm going to be interviewing people throughout the march. So thank you so much for being out here. A little bit about what's going on here. I mean, we got a lot of material out here. What's going on? What's going on in the table right here? What do you have?
So this is GMO-free PA, and so our organization is working to push labeling laws in Pennsylvania. Like a law has just been passed in Vermont, and so similar laws we're trying to get passed here that requires and mandates the labeling of GMO products, so people basically get to make a decision for themselves what they choose to put in their body and feed their families. So yeah, we're labeling that. We have a lot of information about the GMOs in general and also about our organization.
Thank you so much. Again, so this is what it's all about. Look in the phone, do you see me? So again, this is what it's all about. Free. It's free. Free, healthy GMO food being given to the people of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Look at this gentleman right here. Look at this. It's amazing. Look at that. It's amazing. Making free food for people, healthy food for people. Yet everyone's busy on the computer Everyone's not worrying about what's healthy to eat, what's not healthy to eat. We don't need to go to the thrift way to eat healthy. Go to your local farmer's market. Go to your local farmer's market and buy things that are healthy. Because right now, this is what it's all about. It's all about community. Not self, not ego, but community. The fourth annual March Against Monsanto. Thank you so much. Alright, thank you so much. Thank you. Listen, I'm based out in Port Richmond.
Are very delicious. The thing about heirloom seeds is they're from a time when all of us lived in communities where we were producing our own seeds, right? It was very important to us to have seeds that tasted delicious, that were full of nutrients, nutrient dense. Now it's important to us that food can travel 3,000 miles and sit on a supermarket shelf for weeks. That's a very different. That's a very different reason to grow food. The food that we're growing was grown for hundreds and thousands of years so that it would taste good right off the plant, so that it would last through the winter. We grow squashes that can sit on the shelf, until March, right? That is a low carbon food. Doesn't have to be refrigerated, doesn't have to be shipped. And so heirloom seeds are grown for their taste, their nutrients, their beauty. And so that's what we're doing in Devon. Another thing, so now we're talking about GMOs. GMOs are being created to withstand an onslaught of chemicals, fertilizers, fungicides, pesticides, and insecticides. So that is a whole other way of breeding, right? We're breeding so that it will not die when you douse it with chemicals. Does that sound delicious or beautiful?
Not at all. No, not at all.
Delicious or beautiful. Maybe that fits in with an industrial, globalized model of agriculture, but that is not the food that I want my family to eat. That is not, I don't want chemicals in my food, but I also don't want food to be chosen, even if it does somehow taste good. I don't want it to be selected for its ability to survive a chemical attack, right? I want it to be selected for its ability to come off the vine and taste delicious and be full of nutrients. And so that's why we're doing the work that we're doing. We're saving food that was selected for generations and generations for that reason. We grow completely organically. We grow beyond organically. We don't use any kind of synthetic chemicals on our plants. So we teach people how to grow in that way. And I want to tell you a few stories, because I think part of being, like I said, being a seed keeper is being able to tell stories about our food. The first one kind of sheds light on the history of the seed collection that I manage. Like I said, William Moyes Weaver got his seed collection from his grandfather. He found it in a chest 10 years after his grandfather had died. There were all these little baby food containers labeled with different seeds in them, and he realized, oh wow, I grew up in that garden. I have a responsibility to carry on these rare seeds. One of the baby food jars that the seeds were in, many of them were labeled Pippin pepper, named after Horace Pippin. Who's heard of Horace Pippin? An important artist from this area, African-American folk artist. He lived in Westchester, and he was friends with William Moyes Weaver's grandfather. He would bring him pepper seeds from the black catering communities of Philadelphia and Baltimore in exchange for bee sting therapy, because he was wounded in the war, World War I. And so he would get bee sting therapy, and in exchange for the life of that bee and the therapy, he'd bring him seeds as a gift, right? And so one of these seeds was called the fish pepper. The fish pepper has become fairly popular, but it was revived after William Moyes Weaver found it in this chest, and now it's being grown on maybe 250 farms, right? So it can go from one person seed collection to being grown on 250 farms. It's offered in the Baker Creek catalog. It's offered in catalogs all over the country. The fish pepper grown, used in fish dishes in Baltimore in the catering community is a beautiful ornamental plant. It's both white and green leaves and white and green fruit. It's variegated. So it's a beautiful pepper. They would harvest the white fruits when they were unripe and kind of powder them and cook them with oyster dishes so you wouldn't see the red flakes or the green flakes of a pepper. Okay, we just made a fish pepper sauce last year. It's the most delicious pepper sauce I've ever made. It's so flavorful. So that's the story. Peppers don't come from Baltimore, though. Peppers come from South America, or and southern North America. And so all of these seeds have a really deep history that we're not even telling when we're only telling the last 3 generations, right? So I want to impress that upon you, that these seeds are our ancestors in some way. Winona LaDuke, who's one of my heroes when it comes to talking about seed saving, seed keepers, environmentalism, stopping the oil pipelines. Winona LaDuke considers seeds our ancestors. And what I like about that is that it recognizes the deep connection that humans have had with our food crops for thousands and thousands of years. We're growing up together as species, right? The pepper that we eat today looks nothing like the pepper that was domesticated originally 5,000, 7,000 years ago.
That's true.
And so we have a responsibility to these crops that we have developed, right? These are a very important part of our culture and our history, and we have a responsibility to them. When we start inserting with gene guns bacteria DNA into crops that our ancestors cared for thousands of years, who gave us that right to genetically modify these crops?
Nobody.
Right?
Nobody.
Another story, I grow the lumper potato. Who's heard of the lumper potato? The lumper potato is the one that's often implicated in the Great Famine in Ireland, the potato famine, something that some of my ancestors experienced. They were potato farmers in Ireland. The lumper potato was the only species of variety of potato. There were a few varieties. They were all very closely related to the lumper. The lumper potato was considered livestock feed, but this is what my Irish ancestors were eating because they were exporting all of their crops to England because they were under colonial rule. This kind of echoes today when we look at how agriculture is playing out across the world, right? Monsanto is offering these seed crops to third world developing countries, etc. And people are becoming indebted to Monsanto, to the countries that they're growing their crops for. They're no longer growing crops for their families, right? Their communities. They're growing export crops. They're becoming indebted because they owe so much money to the expensive GMO seeds. They owe so much money because they have to buy the pesticides to make sure that these seeds will grow. And so when I think about the lumper potato and my ancestors who grew the lumper potato, who were exporting all of the food they were growing a lot of good food. It was destined for England. They were not allowed to eat it, right? And so this has happened. When we think about GMOs, we can't just think about our family's health, because that is super important. We also have to think about the ways in which Monsanto and other multinational corporations are imposing on other countries, making sure that people are no longer growing their own food, but growing food for our consumption. So I want to bring up the Trans-Pacific Partnership, because that's something that is happening right now, a deal that Obama is considering that would further what's been happening with NAFTA, etc. But one important piece of it is that if this goes forward as written, the U.S., all the progress we've made towards GMO labeling will be wiped out.
4th annual March Against Monsanto. Why are you out here and why do you fight against GMOs?
Well, I fight against GMOs because I think it's important that we know what we're putting in our body and how that seed was grown.
Sure.
And what kind of herbicides or pesticides that they're using on that seed. Also, I think it's really, really important that everyone has an understanding of how these seeds came to be and the process that they are not tested. They're only tested by the people that are willing to sell them. So
they are. I mean, this is obviously the 4th March. I mean, it's amazing that how many people are waking up in the world. Do you think change is possible? And do you see change?
I do see that. I do see that everything is possible. And the thing is that the more awareness that we create, the more awareness that people are going to understand that their food is their medicine. So we need to keep that in check.
When more and more we look at people, they're on prescription pills, they're on antibiotics and stuff like that, and now they're finding out the pharmaceutical company is a fraud, GMOs are a fraud, healthy living is the way to go, and that collectively, through consciously being one, all joining together and saying, hey, look, get off the drugs, get off the pharmaceuticals, we can make it happen. Can we make it happen?
I think we can. I think it takes many raindrops to make a mighty river, and our river is getting deeper and wider every year. Hey, ho, ho!
Monsanto has got to go! Hey, hey! Hey, hey! Ho, ho!
Hey, hey!
Monsanto has got to go! Monsanto has got to go! Is it? Monsanto has got to go!
Your lives matter!
They're poisoning our food! They're poisoning our food! No more poison! Rise against injustice! Oh, Monsanto! These corporate fascists are evil to we the people! No more poison! They're poisoning our food! Monsanto has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Monsanto has got to go! Ho, ho! Monsanto has got to go!
Why aren't they paying attention?
So I'm out here today, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good, Eric.
How do you feel about Monsanto?
I feel I'm not a science experiment, so fuck Monsanto. Fuck them up their stupid asses.
Right. How do you feel about people who are a little, you know, oh, I don't want to hear the F word? I mean, shouldn't we be angry enough to drop the F-bomb? I mean, this is obviously, this is the 4th March. We're fed up. We're tired of it. Hillary Clinton is hiring people for fucking Monsanto. We are ready for change, are we not?
We need to change things.
Do you see change in the next couple of years? Do you think it's going to make a difference?
I think it's going to take a few years, but every day that we do this is making a difference. More awareness.
A lot of people, they sit on the couch, they're wearing a PlayStation 4, Xbox fucking One. Not that there's anything wrong with that. What do you have to say to people who would rather sit on their asses than coming out here? Obviously, you're a hero. Your friends are fucking heroes. We're out here today. We're out here today against fucking Monsanto. How do you feel about people who don't want to go?
They should get up and do something. It's not healthy to sit down playing video games anyway. Plus, you're going to be eating all these unhealthy foods while you're sitting on your ass being unhealthy.
Is Monsanto playing humanity like a fucking video game or what?
Yes. Or an experiment.
Is humanity being fucking depopulated as we are right now?
Yes.
You think we are? I think we are too. Thank you so much. Fuck Monsanto. Against GMO, goddammit.
Yes, we are.
Why the fuck are you out here today? How do you feel about GMOs?
Man, I'm telling you for a reason, man. Not just for us, it's for our future generation.
Grab one today.
It's for our future generation. We gotta keep this shit together for our future. We gotta have a future. We're not trying to have all these babies born with different type of things.
With autism and this and that, right?
You ain't gotta get into specifics, but you already know what they are. We don't need these babies. We need to be future and get stronger, not get weaker. What's the point of that?
I mean, it kind of seems like they're depopulating the planet. Why the fuck would you put GMOs in food unless are they fucking...
Another way, including the vaccines.
Including the vaccines and the chemtrails and everything else.
Chemtrails, all different types of things. They find different types of ways to put barium on the chemtrails.
Right.
Different types of things, man.
You know, and here's the thing, my friend. I feel this is the fourth march against Monsanto.
Yeah.
Is things going to change? How do we make things change?
This is my first year.
How do we make things change? First year, second year, fourth year?
By coming out and making a change. Coming out and being here.
Making it happen.
You have to be here. You have to be here. You can't just talk about it. You got to be about it.
You got to be about it. People sitting on the couch right now, they're watching this video, they say, damn, these people are making it happen. What do you have to say?
I love what you're doing, man. I love what you're doing.
Well, fuck me. I mean, people that are sitting, but thank you. But there's people out there that are sitting on their ass, they ain't doing nothing. There's no media other than me, obviously. In fucking Philadelphia, PA, the media is not here. What do you have to say to people who do not want to empower themselves? People that do not want to empower themselves.
Start being doers.
Get it out, right?
You gotta be a doer.
So why are you here today?
I'm here to support life.
To support life. Now, do you think that GMOs threaten life as we know it?
Yes.
Why do you feel that way?
Why do I feel that way? Because there's no real testing to back up the data of GMOs.
Right.
Monsanto is short-circuiting our food system.
Now, they say if you kill the bees within 5 years, you kill humanity. How do you feel about the bee loss? The bee population has literally basically been slaughtered since Monsanto has been involved. How do you feel about that?
That's devastating, not just to the bees, but to life in general. I mean, to all humanity, to all animals.
Sure.
We need bees for everything, whether it be to pollinate flowers, green beans. And if you think about it, eventually even a lot of animal life will decrease.
Sure. I mean, we look at the animals over, in the sea and oceans, everything else. It seems like the way things are going in the world, yet they're still hitting us with GMOs. Farmers are committing suicide in India because they're being forced by Monsanto to have GMOs. Do you see change in the future, sweetheart?
I am very positive that there's going to be change. I'm very positive. I wish we could do this march a couple of times a year. We need to get the word out to many more people. Just coming here to Philadelphia, I've met many people who are still clueless. So we need to get more word out there. More people need to keep talking.
Absolutely. You're out here today, March Against Monsanto. It's the 4th March Against Monsanto. You're dressed like a bee. You want to save the bees. How are you, sweetheart?
I am doing great. I'm meeting some wonderful people.
Amazing. So, Albert Einstein said himself, without the bees, within, 3 or 5 years, we're all dead, right?
That's absolutely true. More than a third of our food is pollinated by bees.
Sure. So a third of our food is pollinated by bees. If the bees die, we die. Why the hell is Hillary Clinton hiring staff that supports Monsanto? I don't know if you've heard of that or not, but she is. And it sickens me because I kind of feel like Monsanto is literally poisoning the food we eat. Farmers in India are literally committing suicide because Monsanto is basically saying, hey, we're going to bully you. We're going to make you choose Monsanto. But then again, other than America, a lot of other countries have banned Monsanto. Why isn't America banning Monsanto?
He has too much money, too much power, and money speaks entirely too much in this country. And Hillary as a mother should know better, because we're here to protect our children.
If you had one message for Hillary Clinton right now, who has hired the staff of Monsanto, one of her staff, what would you say? Look at the cameras where. What message would you have to Hillary Clinton, who has hired Monsanto people to basically support her?
Hillary, as a mom, you have to stop. You have to do your research, do what's best for your kids and your grandkids.
Do what's best for humanity. We are out here today, 4th annual March Against Monsanto. Step it up, or get out here, or literally shut up. Because this has changed, real change. And it's easy to sit on the couch and be programmed and not want to come out here. But we're out here, so
Absolutely.
what empowers you to come out here and say, I'm going to dress up as a bee and empower others to empower themselves? Because obviously, it doesn't empower me to come over and interview her. Look, she looks amazing, doesn't she, baby?
Yes.
She looks amazing. What empowers you to come out here?
Because it's my civic duty as an American citizen. So not only stand here and protest what I think is right, but to teach my children to be safe.
Monsanto has got to go. Save the seed. Let it grow. Monsanto has got to go. Hey! Start it back up. Save the seed. Let it grow. Monsanto has got to go. Let it go. Monsanto has got to go. Monsanto has got to go. Humans, you are eating GMO foods. Buy organic.
Hold the camera. Hold the camera. There we go.
Save the seed!
March Against Monsanto 2015. Save the bees. Save the bees. Sweetheart, why should we save the bees?
Because if we don't have bees,
Then the other crops that we grow are often fed
and
to
then we
the
have no
animals.
food left. They
in the
pollinate the
fields that
plants.
become
Without the plants, we
food
don't
that we
have
also
food.
eat as well.
So we don't have anything, okay? Now, I mean, we look at it, this is a fourth, March Against Monsanto. We see that they're poisoning our food. Hillary Clinton is actually hiring people that support Monsanto. How do you feel about that?
It's frustrating. It really is, because you want somebody
Albert Einstein
as our president that's going to be for the people, and if you're
man would have
every single president says they are, but if they're going to still work with Monsanto, they're obviously not for the people. It's corporate greed, is all it is.
It's corporate greed, but at the same time, they're depopulating the planet because they're putting this pesticide in our food. I mean, do you think that they're depopulating humanity?
Definitely.
I mean, is there like a new world order agenda to like kill off 90% of the fucking population? Because no one in the media is talking about it. Now, I expose Fox News on multiple times. I expose CBS 3, Channel 10, you name it, in the city of Philadelphia. I pretty much expose every fucking media that's been out there.
And that's good.
Why is the media not covering this? Why don't they not care what they don't care what we eat? Why?
Well, they just don't want people to know. That's what it is. Monsanto tries to hide everything
Sure.
from the general public.
Sure.
That's why Fox News isn't here.
Right.
Or any of the other news broadcasters. They don't want people to know, and if people know, they're going to start fighting back. So.
And you think they want people to be kind of submissive and not fight back? How do you feel? How do you feel about Monsanto, and why you're out here today?
I'm just out here to support everybody else, and
Sure.
I just feel like the more people who realize about Monsanto and everything, that the more money they'll lose, and they'll do anything to make them still go.
So the more money they lose, they're out of business. No more Monsanto. Thank you guys so much. Fourth March Against Monsanto. We're out here today. We're pissed off. We want change. Sir, you're out here for the fourth March Against Monsanto event. How do you feel about Monsanto? You don't like Monsanto.
The reason I'm out here is for my children.
Seeds, and many of us seeds have, so much more.
We have to have a choice. This is America. You get to choose the things you put into your body.
Tell the history of all the ancestors.
You get to choose what you put in your body. And when you take that choice away by not telling people what's in the food that they're consuming, then that's not American as far as I'm concerned.
It's dehumanizing us, period. I mean, it's unhumanizing us. I mean, do you think they're trying to kill off the fucking population? I mean, think of that if they're poisoning our food.
I don't know all about that. All I know is that my kids deserve the best that I can give them. And if I can't give them the best food material, then I'm not giving them the best that I can give them.
Why don't they label GMOs? I mean, think about it.
Because they're afraid. They're afraid people won't buy their stuff and they're going to lose money. And I don't care about their dying. So I care about my health and my children's health.
About your health and your children's health. So basically, they're not labeling GMOs because they don't give a shit about our health and our children's health. So therefore, whether it be because they're too afraid or they're not afraid, they care about the green. They don't care about, they care about the profits. They don't care about our children's health. It's Paul Wesley, the Truth Chaser. I'm out today to say, GMO, go away. We're going to be here, whether it's the 4th protest, 5th, 6th, or 7th, or 8th, or 100th. Say no to GMOs.
Also, I can share these, preserve and share these.
So we're out here today, sir. We're talking about GMOs. How do you feel about GMOs and how do they affect us?
GMOs have to go. They're making people sick. They're affecting their DNA. They are a criminal intent directly perpetrated upon the American public. In fact, I just wrote very strongly about it to the president when they sent me some kind of a requesting feedback from a petition we sent to them and sent to them. And I lashed out.
I mean, this is the fourth march against Monsanto. Me and you, obviously, you've been at the chemtrail protests that I've hosted. I mean, you know, we've been here before. We've done this before. When will things change?
When will things change? Things are changing now, but there are, of course, as always, things are going to change from the grassroots up. Actually, 0.1% of us citizens of the world make changes in the world. Whether we go to the women's movement, whether we go to the right to vote, whether we go to the color movement, it always is a very, very small minority. So I'm proud to be that. I'm undaunted. A lot of people have no idea what GMO spells, and I'm okay with that. I'm really cool with that.
A lot of countries have banned GMOs. We look at Russia and different countries. I mean, why hasn't America banned GMOs?
America has not banned GMOs because Monsanto and the other biotech companies, whether it be Syngenta, DuPont, there's a couple of others that don't come to my mind at the moment, but they essentially own the politicians. They pay them off. The politicians pass bills with the American Legislative Exchange Council being the driving force, which for those of your viewers that don't know what that is, the American Legislative Exchange Council is an organization that rewrites bills for every office of governance to pass, now they're working at the community level. So they have completely infiltrated our republic. They change laws for the members, and the members are the corporations, mostly multinationals, but now they've even gotten down to some organic companies that the multinationals have purchased. So they pay off the politicians, they pre-write the bills, they appear in 50 state bill boxes at one time. Who would have thought that 50 legislators wrote a bill, the same one, identical print, and put it into their boxes? That's why. People don't know about ALEC, they need to know about it.
What do you think is going to happen in the next year or two from now? Do you think people are going to wake up or what?
I'm always optimistic rather, and I'm a very aggressive, sharing person with peaceful methods to educate people. If they don't want to listen, they don't have to. It will be a small movement that will make the changes. Some of the politicians are listening, very few, but the politicians want to hear from the citizens.
Are the very few that are listening paid off? I mean, they have to be. You know, it seems like they maybe know, but
paid off. Whether it be the pharmaceutical industry or otherwise, they're all receiving money.
Well, thank you so much, man.